Paper Rex are built different, and I wanted to show you guys a few rounds that showcase their incredible playstyle that has made them one of my favorite teams to watch in professional Valorant. Starting off here, we are in round number 4. Paper Rex is up 3-0, and as you can see, they're playing a Yoru comp on Bind, their Yoru comp, plus they have now added a Fade into that as well. Right off the bat, they are trying to take hookah control here. We're gonna see the standard Boombot lineup here that's going to go into hookah, and at the same time we see a Yoru play happening towards long. So the decoy is going to lead the way up long, which is going to be followed by the breach and the Yoru himself. However, if you can look at the market area, that is where the spike is, and that sort of indicates that the play is actually probably going to go the opposite direction, which is exactly what we see here. The sky flashes the Yoru out, and that forces the teleport, and now we have a full-on execute towards the A site. So a couple things are happening now. 4 players for the side of Bleed over on B site. They have the Yoru ult that's going to go ahead and clear through the U-Haul area, and that's going to be followed by a double satcheling raise to basically take advantage of anybody that the Yoru spots. Everybody else is now flooding down through A, and we do see that there's sort of one dangerous aspect, which is that there is a Brimstone who is kind of on the flank here, and unfortunately for Bleed is going to miss the timing just a little bit. So it doesn't catch Benkai, and now Paper Rex knows that there's one player behind them. But Paper Rex, if there is an opportunity to be aggressive, they are going to take the aggressive option. And you can see that there are 2 players deep in spawn here now fighting together. And one of them is up in heaven, and one of them is now sort of in the pipes area. The pipes player, Jing, is going to peek early and actually doesn't get a lot of value here. He's going to go down, gets spammed down by all these pistols. However, because Paper Rex is so aggressive and they have set up this very aggressive hold, there is another line of defense there, which allows Forsaken to then trade off of this contact, and he finds 3 kills. So that basically just secures the round. But I do want to go ahead and play this forward a little bit longer because, you know, Paper Rex, they like to play with flair. Just Paper Rex in a nutshell right here. Mind Freak. He's got to do it dirty if he wants to win the round. The next round that I want to highlight is round number 6, and we can see that Paper Rex is now up 5-0. And once again, we do see that Bleed is on a little bit of a broken bye. So I wanted to showcase this round because Paper Rex uses sort of a very standard, you know, ranked Yoru teleport play where they send the gate crash into showers, and then they're going to flash off the wall and teleport to the gate crash. But because they are a pro team that understands how to play with the Yoru, there's going to be another layer to this, which is that with that teleport play, we can see Forsaken is now teleported here, and we can see that the showers player is looking to try and stop the Yoru from getting this kill. That is going to allow the players outside of showers, which is the Raze and the Brimstone, to peek off of that and punish. So it's not just like a solo outplay or die play for Yoru. It's a team play that uses the Yoru as a distraction to sort of like guarantee that they get showers control. That's going to set up for another, you know, flash teleport play. And we're also going to see the Raze trying to follow that out. We see that Fade has now started to pressure short as well. And there is the teleport. We now have a Yoru all the way back here in pipes. We have Raze coming out here. And we also have Fade pushing up here. So what this does is it boxes in the player who is playing in U-Haul. And there's essentially no escape. You can't go back. You can't come out. And Sky is the final remaining player. And, you know, because it's Paper Rex, why not go ahead and end another round with a knife? Because that's just how they do it. So I mentioned that Paper Rex really likes to play aggressive. If there is an opportunity to play aggressive, they're going to take that option most of the time. And in this case, we can see that there is a Viper's Pit ready for Bleed. And they're going to try and use that here in A short to clog up this area. However, there's also a Orbital Strike available for Paper Rex. And so what they're going to do is, anticipating this short Viper's Pit, they are going to immediately use the Brimstone ultimate. You can see it kind of there on the minimap, to basically just push the Viper out of the ultimate as soon as it starts forming. And this is going to not allow the Viper to kind of clog up this area and take away the space, because Paper Rex is going to just fight into the ult, knowing that Viper can't be in it. So the decoy Yoru is going to come through, and at the same time, Forsaken is going to teleport to the backside of the ultimate as well, behind default. So Viper doesn't really know where to look. And now that Yoru has sort of secured this back area with that Fade reveal, we're going to see the rest of Paper Rex start to fly forward. So Jing is going to double blast pack through following the Yoru fake, which was not killed. But again, we saw this in the last round with the surrounding of U-Haul. Now where does Viper go? Because there's more players coming through short. There's a player in U-Haul, and there's a player behind the triple side of the ultimate as well. So Maxi here on Bleed is pretty much boxed in. You can see that he tries to come out now that the pressure is coming through, and ends up running directly into the Yoru who's behind him. Forsaken is going to throw his teleport through the teleporter and come over to try and save Fade. He gets 1 kill, 2 kill on a nice spray transfer, and then immediately teleports to his teleport that has now gone into Hookah. At the same time, Jing has cleared all the way through back to spawn. So Paper Rex basically knows that Bleed has to be coming from behind them, and the other 2 players are also going to now teleport towards the B site because they have B site control, thankfully, because their 2 duelists are playing hyper aggressive. And all of those previous rounds leads us to this one, which is where we get to see sort of what happens when you have this very aggressive image that you've shown the other team, which is that they have to react quickly because every round that you've played has been this super hyper aggressive execute. So now we see Paper Rex set up to send it onto the B site, and we see Jing running into, or blast packing into Hookah with the showstopper here. We also see that there's a couple players over here to throw utility, but there's also 2 players over here in short. And this hyper aggressive play from the Rays is starting to sell the fake, but the fact that he goes all the way onto the site, finds a kill, and then there's a Fade also following up as well, it really just forces Bleed to react. They have to send their players off of the A site to the B site because it seems very, very clearly that Paper Rex is hitting in the B site. You know, there's a Raze on the site. He has a kill. There's a Fade also on the site in Hookah. But as you can see, there's actually 3 players headed towards the A site. And with Paper Rex spending so much time and eating up so much of Bleed's time here with these 2 players on the B site, it becomes very easy for the rest of Paper Rex to get onto the A site. And I want to just kind of highlight the fluidity with which Paper Rex kind of shifts what they're doing in a round. Right there, we see Jing go down eventually, but at the same time, this play is happening A. However, because Jing is now dead, Devi is going to hide here in Hookah because he knows that now everybody's going to have to again rotate back to the A site, which allows for a perfect opportunity for a lurking kill. And so he's going to wait and get all this information that players are now running around and heading back towards the A site, and he finds a little pick off there. And now to kind of cap off this round, I just wanted to showcase a little bit of cool combo utility here. We see that Mind Freak now has the orbital strike available on Brimstone, and this is one of my favorite combos in the game now that Fade is here, is that for the post plant, you throw the C's, the orbital strike on top of it. It's impossible to escape, ends up with a free kill there on Pith, and Paper Rex is going to go ahead and clean up that round for a 10th victory.